Afternoon, everybody. You know, gonna get a video in before work. Been meaning to for a couple days, but we had a bad storm. There wasn't power for a day, and there wasn't internet for a couple days, which is pretty pathetic for the suburbs of Philadelphia, especially when there's a Pico, that's the Philadelphia Electric Company substation across the street from my apartment complex. So yeah, people were ready to burn it down. There were almost riots, and that says something in the suburbs. But first, if you haven't, please like and subscribe. That's free, and subscribing makes YouTube have to less shadow ban me, even though it's like not corporate friendly, and he says whatever he thinks, and he goes against the neoliberal corporatist baby boomer status quo, and then there's that whole witch thing. So yeah, I'm not the most family friendly content, and blatantly truthful, and some of it's sexual. And oop, there goes the algorithm there. I said sexual twice. Sexual. Hat trick. So, like and subscribe if you haven't. If the channel has helped you, consider sending a tip via the links in the About section of the channel. Spells, contact me on Instagram. I don't understand. I tell you all why love magic's a bad idea. Why I don't like doing it. But everybody's like, no, I need a love spell. And if you're going to try to convince me that someone's your twin flame, I'm going to ask you questions, and you're not going to bullshit me. So don't read some article on the internet about twin flames and think you're going to bullshit an actual occultist. I know what to ask you. So, I'll give you a little hint. If you really met your twin flame, it's not going to be at the right place at the right time. It's going to be at a wrong time. It's going to require sacrifice. Like, you're going to be drawn to this person that you can't escape, sexual tension through the roof, even if you're with someone else, and it's not going to matter. You're not going to be able to outrun it. It's not going to be, oh, this person grew on me over time. No, twin flame connection is instantaneous. You're inexplicably drawn to that person, and then once you start conversing with them, it quickly evolves into sexual tension that's a spectacle for all to see. So there's that. But what I want to talk about today is 7 things the narcissist does when they're alone. So narcissists, believe it or not, do spend a decent amount of time alone. They're not good at it, unlike introverts, especially INFJ. We need our alone time to recharge, to think and to overthink, and to write our poetry and philosophy and study witchcraft. But enough about me. So narcissists, when they're alone, they'll do certain things, and in this alone time can come at various times. Narcissists typically don't like to be alone because they constantly need admiration and validation, and want to tell everybody how great they are, and also exert their narcissistic control over their targets, typically their partner and also their flying monkeys, because they kind of like to have this group of worshipers. Think like David Miscavige, Tom Cruise, Jared Leto, people like that. I think I've done videos of most of those people. In fact, I know I have. But that's the kind of thing. They don't like to be alone. Another thing to look for, particularly with covert narcissists, is the narcissist who works alone. A lot of narcissists will work alone. There's 2 reasons for that. Because they don't take orders well from others, because they always know best, and, they're never properly compensated, and they're carrying everybody. So the situation will manifest in a couple ways. The narcissist will either, be a one-man show, their own business, or they'll work for a big company and work from home. The other, third, smaller option would be, okay, they work around a lot of people, but they're in a managerial position where people can't stand up to them, where they exude power over, at least a dozen or so people, and they're constantly drunk on power. They're always on a power trip, and that's the company man narcissist. So many shades of narcissism, but be aware of that. So that's the kind of 3 we're going to focus here. So what do they do when they're alone? Well, self-admiration. Narcissists will constantly be telling themselves how great they are, how they're the best at, and God's gift to everything they touch, and how everyone should be so honored to be in their presence, to get the thoughts in their head, and especially if they show favor to you. I mean, a narcissist sees himself as a king, so if he chooses you, then that makes you a queen, and you should be forever grateful for the scraps that this self-proclaimed monarch has cast you. Number 2, especially when the ones that work at home, social media. So they want more and more admiration. So narcissists are big on social media, and this can take many forms. The obvious ones would be like Facebook, Instagram. Things to look out for. A lot of these narcissists is one of the things narcissists in general can't handle is aging. So like you'll see like a male narcissist like my age, and I'm 37, posting pictures like shotgunning beers and still living like the frat boy lifestyle, 15 years after he's been out of college, still trying to, because he wants that admiration from nothing, and I do this all the time, nothing pisses a middle-aged narcissist more than watching like a man like me get attention from women in their early 20s. Drives him nuts. And I don't ask for that attention, I just get it. And he's like, twice your age, go away, kind of thing. Yeah, but that drives them nuts because they narcissists have to believe that they're always in their prime, they're always at their peak, and everybody wants them, and they're forever young, but also in their prime, but also at their peak. So yeah, social media. LinkedIn's a big one because they like to brag and over exaggerate their resumes and talk about what a big shot they are and make connections that way, or networking, which is really just brown nosing. And lying and exaggerating, they're big into that too. So if someone's always on LinkedIn, like, wow, that's maybe 10% of what you put there is true. No, I do all that. I don't network. Man, that's your problem. That's why you're where you're at today. My mother's chiming in because I refuse to pick a group and assimilate and fall in line and embrace free will. Yeah, it's big talk from a little urn. Sorry, she talks. She was a witch too. Lil turned around and looked over here too. My statue, it moves. I don't get to see it move, but I put it facing forward, and every day when I wake up, it'll be over that way. So I just leave it now because that's where Lilith wants it. But 3, narcissists plan and scheme. Now, they're always planning and scheming, but especially when they're alone, they're figuring out how they can tighten their control over their main victim, particularly their partner, especially if they feel this person gaining more confidence, perhaps planning to leave them, perhaps getting in a better financial situation as to where they have the means to leave them. No, the narcissist, unless they're ready to discard, they will do everything in their power to stop that, especially if, they have feelings for someone else, or, some like fate challenging, doesn't believe in timing, believes in free will and empowerment. Demon Lilithan is trying to break chains or something. Yeah, it's kind of what I do. And by kind, I mean exactly. But they're always planning and scheming. They're also planning and scheming how they can screw people over to keep other people down. This is more in their professional life because that's how they excel. They're rats. They throw people under the bus. They lie, they manipulate, they use because they only care about themselves. So they're willing to step over people to get to where they want to go because they have to rely on brown nosing and ratting and being company men, because raw talent and merit is something they don't have. Most narcissists in most aspects, are average across the board. Now, there are some things they excel in. They are very good liars. They are very good bullshitters. That's why a lot of narcissists end up in politics and sales, because you have to be a good bullshitter. If you're a blatant truth teller, in those fields, you're not going to get very much commission, and, you won't be in the club in politics. Believe me, I tried. I was a Democratic committeeman at 18 years old, the youngest in the state of Pennsylvania. Why don't I have a future in politics? Because I don't play ball. As some of my older fans said who watch Secular Talk, one of my favorite channels, I'm basically Kyle Kalinske with a pentacle. And in a lot of ways, I am. With the same political views, we grew up, he grew up in the suburbs of New York, I grew up in the suburbs of Philly. We're both INFJs. He's an atheist and I'm a witch, and we're the same age. So yeah, there's a lot of, and I'm prettier. But just saying, he's way more successful, but I'm prettier. All right, they ruminate, number 4. And they're ruminating about how things went. Narcissists always analyze every situation in their life and how they can turn it to their advantage, particularly if there's somebody that they view as a threat. A lot of what narcissists do, it's a performance. It's not, oh wait, I actually screwed up, or this was taken the wrong way and I feel bad, or I've been neglecting this person, or I haven't been showing her how I really feel. No, no, no. It's, ooh, the jig is up. People are figuring me out. People don't like me. I have to do this performance like a celebrity would, like a PR event to try to fool people into thinking I'm something I'm not, to keep up this image, to keep this mask from slipping. They do that all the time. Like I said, particularly if they see something that they view as their property in danger of slipping away. Yeah, trust me, I see narcissists do that all the time because I'm the reason why it slips away. Yeah, I cause lots of problems for narcissists. Yeah, I'm still here. A lot of them threaten to kill me. Only one has tried. That's why I have a titanium knee. 5, triangulation. They plot their triangulation when they're alone because sometimes to keep up this image they have, they can't be the ones directly manipulating. So they have to they have to triangulate people against each other, because it's like, oh, my property, my slave girl has these friends, they don't like me, and they know what I am and they see through me and they're starting to get through to her. So I have to set them at each other's throats so they hate each other, and therefore I can come in and pretend to be the hero, but really I'm just destroying her friendship with her closest friends and further isolating her with me to maintain narcissistic control, stuff like that. 6, reckless behavior when they're alone. Now, this can take many forms. A lot of narcissists struggle with drug problems, and a lot of them have alcohol problems. Again, this also ties into the middle-aged frat boy mentality, or, senior citizen mean girl in high school. Till the day she died. But anyway, enough about my past. This can also take forms in reckless behavior for validation. Most narcissists, particularly males, most females too, cheat on their partner. This is especially true, and I can say this from other members of my family, if the narcissist works at home, the male, and the female works, she's out doing a job all day, Ashley Madison, all those sites, he's got the house to himself. Someone could be in and out because he has that time. Like, let's say, let's just say there's a narcissist with a nurse, watch the videos Ollie Matthews did for me for clarification. Say he works from home and, she's gone 11 hours a day between shift, lunch break, and commute to and from the hospital. That's 11 hours where he knows for a fact she's not going to be around and isn't going to show up. Do the math. So, 7, hoovering. Hoovering, guilt-tripping people that are this close to getting away from the narcissist back in. This is commonly where the breadcrumbing tactic comes in, where they make false promises or gives their victim like the bare minimum to keep them from walking out the door, to give them that false hope that maybe things will be better and maybe things will be healthy. No, it's just a little couple crumbs to keep you from going out the door, but it gives you that false hope that maybe things will get better, and it's just a rough patch. No, it's not a rough patch. It's the reality of the situation that is only going to continue to deteriorate because narcissists never change and never think they're wrong. And 7, the biggest one, they fantasize of their delusional reality, where they're the center of the world, where they're the greatest thing that has ever existed, and how everybody loves them, when in reality most people despise them. They're just too cowardly to say it to their faces, and how they're going to have everything, and the delusions of grandeur narcissists can come up with, like, I'm going to get a PhD in a couple years, and I've heard some say they're going to be in politics. I've heard a bunch say that they're going to be famous because, there's some nobody model actor like me, but they're going to hit it big because they're them and, networking and timing, but it doesn't work out. But they spend a lot of time ruminating and thinking about these fantasies and convincing themselves that they're real. I've seen a lot of narcissists who are like average looking dudes with dad bods try to convince themselves that they're models with six packs. They're not. They could go to the gym and get the physique if they're willing to put the work in, but they don't. It's better for them to convince themselves easier for them to convince themselves that all women want them. They don't. Even their victim is slipping away. But that is what narcissists do when they're alone. So, hope that was helpful. Like and subscribe if you haven't. Most of you don't subscribe, and it's free. And, please inflation bad, inflation hurt, inflation, rent go up, groceries go up. Support the channel so I can spend more time on it and less on under the table side jobs, you know? So, thanks. Hail Lilith.